A Department of Education study finds teaching these little shits is no longer worth it. Officials say these vicious little bastards are beyond any kind of help. Washington, the U.S. Department of Education released a comprehensive nationwide evaluation of American schools Monday, indicating that attempts to teach absolutely anything to these little shits is just a huge waste of everybody's time. We remain committed to providing every student in the country with access to high-quality education, said Education Secretary Arne Duncan, adding that good schools are a key component to the success of American democracy. But to be honest, none of that matters. We're not talking about a promising young scholars here. We're talking about a bunch of fucking animals. He went on to say, we've basically flushed $11,000 down the toilet for every single one of these little bastards. Duncan continued, not to mention 18 years of my life. The study, which analyzed the effectiveness of both public and private schools, found that efforts to enlighten these terrors on the subjects of math, history, grammar, and science are as productive as slamming your head on a goddamn brick wall. The research also confirmed that these unbelievable shits who take everything for granted consistently piss away each learning opportunity they're given. When I first started teaching, I would see the smiling faces of my classroom and get excited about nurturing their young minds, said Melanie Whiteman, 35, a first grade teacher quoted in the report. Now I can't look up from my desk without wanting to puke at the sight of those little psychopaths. Secretary Duncan said that the study is the first to provide detailed evidence in support of the theory that third grader Scott Kreisel is a complete fuck-up and perhaps even the living incarnation of Satan. According to the report, billions of dollars in federal resources have been spent to modernize classrooms and improve teacher training, even though little brats spend their entire days carving profanities into desks, shouting at whoever's in charge, and refusing to sit down, shut up, and actually learn something for once. In addition, research suggests that school boards across the nation have grown tired of fighting to obtain a brand new textbook, only to have the miserable fucks just deface them all with ejaculating penis drawings on the first day of class. When asked if the charter schools might help solve some of the problems faced by public education, Deputy Education Secretary Anthony W. Miller told reporters that data indicated any difference they made would amount to jack shit. Some charter schools perform better than their public counterparts. Some don't, Miller said. You can't change the fact that any school, no matter how it's funded, is ultimately just another type of building that contains these goddamn monsters for 7 hours a day. Miller added that more involvement from home was not the answer either, as the little shits tend to have shithead parents who just make everything worse. The only findings from the study that provide a glimmer of hope, he said, are student absenteeism and dropout rates, which continue to increase. Christ, I dedicated my career to my students, actually thinking I could make a difference in their lives, middle school teacher Joan Kubecker said Monday. If I'd gone into public relations, I'd be making 6 figures by now, and at a PR firm, I bet I wouldn't have to worry about my tires being slashed in the parking lot. I have to go, she added. The fucking hyenas in my third period class await. The Department of Education study comes on the heels of a survey last month that found 90%, that's 90% of all elementary school students, resent being taught by pathetic losers who couldn't get a decent job in the real world. Satire? Yes. Real? Yes. We have a serious education problem in this country. We lag far behind any other of the industrialized countries, and we need to address it. When you're looking at your politicians, look at politicians who want to help improve education, not politicians like Scott Walker, who's also a dropout, who wants to take away school funding in his own state. As governor of the state of Wisconsin, Scott Walker has taken it upon himself to deny higher education to anyone but the rich by taking away the school funding that supports middle class, working class folks. He is in essence taking away their opportunity to rise above where they are now. You have to look at your politicians, you have to vote, you have to get involved, or education is going to continue to deteriorate. Thank you for listening.